What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over my release date predictions for Life is Strange 3. Now, yes, the game's not announced yet. Yes, the game, we don't know really anything about it besides leaks and rumors. Obviously, we know that this game is going to be announced for the first time, shown for the first time this upcoming Thursday. I cannot wait. We talked all about how excited I was and my expectations for and all that stuff this past Friday. So if you guys missed out on that video, but I had promised you guys this one. I know this isn't maybe everybody's favorite thing. This is a lot of speculation. There's a high percentage chance of me being wrong with kind of all of these sorts of videos, right? But I love making them. It gets me very excited for them. I think a lot of you guys end up like, it's a small group of people that don't like some of my stuff, right? So I want to talk about what we could be looking at in terms of when the first episode comes out. Would it be episodic? All that stuff. I want to go over that in this video. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And final thing, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. The link for that is in the description below. I'm going to be covering this game on Thursday when it's announced. We are going to be keeping our video per week of Life is Strange every single week. As we get closer, I'll probably end up doing, honestly, more. And when the game's actually released, we'll probably do way, way more, okay? So this will definitely be a place to go. I think people will know this place as a place for Life is Strange content as the weeks and months go on. I think we're going to get this game very quick. I've predicted that, and this will be something, hopefully, that I can say, you know, Alex was right. Like, I have a chalkboard of all the times I'm right and wrong. I'm just kidding. I don't actually have that. I should, and I should show it to you guys because we can see how many times I was wrong. But I have been saying for a very long time, honestly a very long time, that I do think when the game's announced, we're going to get a very fast turnaround for it, okay? Life is Strange 1, fast turnaround. Life is Strange 2, fast turnaround. Before the storm, insanely fast turnaround. It was like less than 2 months between announcement and release. And that was Deck 9. That was Deck 9, which is the makers of this game. I think Life is Strange, and I've said this before too, Life is Strange is definitely a game where it does, I think it is most successful, or it's the best for it, that there is a quick turnaround time. I don't think Life is Strange works. And honestly, my evidence isn't like statistical, but I feel like it's overall the excitement that we saw during Life is Strange, even Life is Strange Before the Storm, and then Life is Strange 2. And this is what I want to talk about part of this video. Life is Strange 2, I said it. Actually, it was one of the only Life is Strange 2 videos that a lot of people did agree with. I thought the release schedule for the second game was god-awful. They couldn't have done a worse job. Now, they weren't very... They didn't really say when these episodes would come out. One of the things I loved about Telltale, the end of Telltale, they actually did a terrible job too for the most part for their entire history, but towards the end, remember when the final season of Walking Dead was out, they gave a schedule at the very beginning, before the first episode even came out, and they said, here's the release date for episode 1, here's episode 2, here's episode 3, and even if they weren't consistent, even if there weren't, and I don't even remember how often the episodes came out, but let's say they weren't even like every 8 weeks, maybe one was 6, maybe one was 9, you know what I mean, and that's okay if you give the release date early. Now, what I will say is, I understand for an episodic game that's very difficult. I'm not saying, like, you know, it's so easy and, like, I could do it. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is I understand that it's difficult, but I do think it's necessary. I really, really do, because you got to give people an indication of when you're going to get the next one. I really do. Life is Strange, the first one, Don't Not actually did an insanely good job. Remember, they said that it would be no later than like every 2 months. And every 2 months, we got the next episode. In fact, I believe between 3 and 4 was like 5 weeks or 6 weeks. I don't exactly, again, like I had just started the channel back then. I was into games, but I wasn't like into like looking at games. So I don't remember the exact history, but I remember very consistent, and then sometimes there were even less time in between episodes for the first season. Again, Before the Storm, they also did a very, very good job of communicating, getting the episodes out consistently, being very open about it. Life is Strange 2 was god-awful. No episodic game should ever, and like Wolf Among Us did this, and while I love Wolf Among Us, again, like this was despicable to me, no episodic game should take over a year to have the whole thing come out. It should not be like that. And for Life is Strange 2, it was even worse. It took, the first episode, I believe, came out, late, sometime in August or September. I don't exactly remember the date, but the final episode came out the following year, the first week of December. So it took them a full year and 3 months to get 5 episodes of Life is Strange 2 out. I have opinions on Life is Strange 2 that not everybody agrees with, and that's okay. I don't think that, the release date thing was good whatsoever. I thought that was absolutely awful, and I did talk about that back a couple of years ago, and a lot of people did agree. So maybe you guys still agree, maybe you guys hate me and you don't agree, that, that's okay too. But that's what obviously I get, I'm supposed to be predicting, I'm kind of going on a rant, but my point is I don't want that for this. If they're going to do 5 episodes, you gotta make it clear what you're doing. You don't have to do, again, what Walking Dead, I think, did it. Now, even that got destroyed, because remember, Telltale literally went bankrupt and closed, and it had to go over to Skybound, and the whole release date was completely shifted. But the idea was good. I'm not saying they need to literally do that. I'm not expecting on Thursday we get, here's episode 1's release date, here's episode 2, here's episode 3. Honestly, what's probably going to happen is we're going to learn about this stuff through interviews. I always talk about this. A lot of times you learn more in interviews with the developers than you do from trailers. We did that for Gotham Knights. I think we learned 10 times more info about the game listening to what they're saying in different interviews versus what we saw in the gameplay. I really do, and I've always been a believer of that. I think I've been proven right with that. I think that's going to happen here. I think Thursday we'll get the trailer. We'll learn loads of stuff. We'll get the first episode's release date, okay? I'm going to say July. I don't want it to be July because for the first 12 days of July, I'm actually going to see my parents in a completely separate state. I'm going to be traveling. I'll bring my computer, but I wasn't planning on bringing, my console. So if the game comes out when I'm gone, that'll suck. So we'll have to see how that all works. But it gets announced right now, March 18th. I feel like, obviously 2 months away is only May. 3 months would be June. I'm hoping it's May or June. Honestly, I'm hoping it's kind of like late June. Maybe my birthday is actually late June. I'm hoping it's that. Something just tells me the summer, though. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they even said August. Now, again, the longer they go, I don't think it looks good. Again, Life is Strange, and really any episodic game, I don't really think works all that well with knowing it, but having to wait an extraordinary long time with it. I guess you could say Wolf Among Us 2 is doing that literally right now, where we got that in we got formal confirmation they're remaking it. They literally restarted work on the second game in December of 2019. Here we are, a full year and 4 months later, and we still don't have the game. Maybe we get it this year. So it may be 2 years from when we heard about that game to when we get it. I wouldn't say that's actually good, though. You know what I mean? I love Wolf Among Us. I'm very excited for the second game. I think a lot of people are excited for the second game. But I would say that it doesn't look all that great. I don't know how many people are talking about this game every day right now. Okay, obviously it'll pick up as it gets closer, but I just don't know how good that looks. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be bad at all. I think it's going to be amazing, but I would imagine Life is Strange doesn't do that. They're not going to say December 2021. They're not going to say spring 2022, okay? If they do that, they have no idea what they're doing. To be quite honest with you, they have no idea what they're doing. So I think sometime between June or July, I think maybe that would be the safest bet. Sure, it could be May. Heck, it could be in April. They could just say, hey, we got the first episode ready. It's in April. And then again, but the thing is, then how often will they come out in between? I really do think, again, Life is Strange 1 did every other month. I really do think that works. I think monthly works. You look at Tell Me Why. I think Tell Me Why was maybe the best way of doing it, although, a couple things. Number one, that was Don't Nod, and number two, it was only 3 episodes, and it's just flat out different than Life is Strange altogether, right? But it was episodic, and I will tell you, now they actually gave me the codes for that. Don't Nod gave me that, which I definitely appreciate it. But with that being said, I didn't get to play it early. I played it at the same time everybody else did. I actually enjoyed it. Now, say what you want about the game. I actually kind of really enjoyed the game. I didn't think it was amazing, but I didn't think it was bad. I think it worked doing it weekly because it's kind of like even what we experienced with WandaVision, where you play it, you have a couple days where maybe you don't, not everybody's talking about spoilers, but maybe some people are, and then you have a couple days to go over the episode you just played and theorize and talk about the next one. Now, Life is Strange is a lot more mysterious. And I think there's like a possibility for more theories and more speculation for Life is Strange, then Tell Me Why. Now, Tell Me Why I actually did have a couple things you could speculate on, but Life is Strange I think is going to be way more. I think giving it 2, 3, 4 weeks is a perfect amount of time. You play it, you have like a week to talk about the episode, you have 2, 3 weeks to talk about the next episode, and then bam, you get it, okay? The longer you stretch that, the longer of a lull there is in between, which I personally didn't feel a lull in between the episodes of Season 1, even though, again, they were like every 7 or 8 weeks. Life is Strange 2, I felt it, though. I mean, I covered that game weekly, I think, for like a year and a half. I truly did. I mean, I covered that game so much. You can go on the channel and look. But, like, you could tell when the episode came out, you talked about it. You could theorize about the next episode, but it was like 3, 4 months away. In reality, there was a solid 2 months in between episodes where nobody cared about the game. Nobody cared. Nobody was talking about it. And then we would start to pick it up. And I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, sure, you can do that. They did do that. And maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. I don't think Life is Strange 2 sold very well. And I think the statistics would probably back that up. I don't think it sold nearly as well as they thought it would, or kind of to match up to Life is Strange 1. And maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe that they need to put these episodes closer together. Again, kind of just to keep people's motors running, where it's like, hey, something cool happened in this episode, let's talk about what that can mean for the next episode. Well, yeah, you can, but if the episode is 8 months away, you're not gonna, you know what I mean, like, it's gonna die off. You're not gonna care until like a week before the episode comes out, then people will care again. And that's just not, for an episodic game, that's not what you want. The same thing, again, literally with a TV show, episodes of a TV show, you don't want it to die down. That's why they're weekly. That's why they don't take too much time off and breaks, is because you don't want it to be 4 months in between episodes. Who cares then about you know what I mean? Nobody cares. They'll just drop off. You want people constantly engaged, and that's why they're episodic. And so for episodic games, it is harder because they haven't completed all of them at the time they announce it. So like this Thursday, they won't have all 5 episodes done. Say there is 5, say there's 3, whatever. They won't have them all done. They'll maybe have 1 done. They'll have 2 almost done. They'll have 3 partially done, so on and so on. And obviously they're still working on it. And that's probably not the right way of doing it, but that is the way the industry does it, okay? So I will say June or July, and then I will say my prediction is there's 5 episodes, and I want it to come out every 2 months. I'll say, though, they're going to stretch it. I'll say, honestly, I feel 3-ish months in between episodes. So if the first one is in June, next one would be September, so on, so on, so on, okay? Not the best strategy, but, and they'll probably use the thing around the world, you know, I don't say its name. They'll probably use that as an excuse, which is an excuse, I get it, but it's also like you've always done stuff like this, so you should probably just change the way you do it in the first place. We'll see. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? How often should these episodes come out? When do you think episode 1 releases? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Buckle up. Thursday, we'll have a video. Next week, we'll have a video. And we'll probably start to pick up the pace as we get closer and closer to episode 1. And then, honestly, the channel will probably reflect what I was telling you. We'll do a lot of videos right away, kind of die down, and then build back up when we get closer to the next episode, okay? Thank you for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.